Hi everyone. Hi Sid. Hi Akhil. Hi Ashutosh. Hi Rahul. Hi Akhil. There are two Akhils now.
From the same industry.
Yeah. Right. Right. So I'll take.
Hi Akhil. Hi Ashutosh. Hi Rahul. There are two Akhils
From the same industry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of echo. I am not sure
Yeah,
from
there is
where.
lot of noise. It's much better now. Sid, so I'll introduce you and then maybe hand it over to you for next 40 odd minutes. Am I audible, Sid? Can you hear me? No.
Yes.
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. So Sid Agarwal, who is the moderator of the day, works for Google. He's part of Google Developer Expert Program, leads developer student clubs and TensorFlow user groups in India. He's also been very supportive in our journey of Incubate in the past. We've been working with him for almost 3 years now. So over to you, Sid. I think you set the context up now.
in India. Perfect. He's also been very supportive
I could hear a lot
in
of
our journey
noise
of
in the
Incubate in the past. We've been working
As
with
a
him
YouTube
for
live stream
almost
also
3
opened
years now. So over to you, Sid. I think you set the context up.
Siddhant, if I can interrupt you, there's an echo which is coming from your side. Yeah, it becomes better as soon as you mute. So you may want to use a headphone.
Is it better now?
Much better.
I think there was a YouTube live stream opened in one of the tabs for YouTube.
Yeah.
But never mind. Thanks everyone for joining in. Thanks Rohit for the warm introduction. Is it better now? I think there's still a tab opened up for someone. I think there was a YouTube live stream opened in one of the tabs for YouTube.
Yeah.
But never mind.
If anyone is speaking, everybody is on mute actually.
I believe Siddharth is trying to fix the equation.
Yeah. I don't know, like some audio is repeating. It's not from my end for sure.
If anyone is speaking, everybody is on mute actually.
Yeah. I guess it's resolved now. Yeah.
I don't know, like no, I can still hear some audio is repeating. Not from my end for sure.
If anyone is speaking, everybody is on mute actually.
I guess it's resolved now.
Yeah, Sid, maybe that live link tab is opened on your laptop. Just check it out once.
Can you folks hear me?
That live link, that AI.NXT website link may be opened on your laptop. That's why it's a repeating sound is coming. Can you check it once?
1 second.
Or a YouTube link. Any link is opened, I think, in a background or something like that.
Okay. Yes. That was my mistake. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Hello everyone. Thanks for joining in for this YouTube live session to talk about artificial intelligence, the driving force of Industry 4.0. Today we have with us Akhil, who is co-founder and CTO of Zolo, ASHUTOSH from Jodova Technologies. He's also director at Inc. Innovation. We have Rahul Prasad, who is co-founder and CTO of Bobble AI. We have Akhil again, but this time like CTO and co-founder of nobroker.com. I will let you folks do a quick introduction of yours, like what you do, and like what is Zolo, what is Jodova, what is Bobble.ai, Bobble.com. If you can like spend quick 1 minute, a Twitter like introduction of yours.
Sure. I'll start. Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Akhil Sikri, and we founded Zolo in 2015. It's a managed co-living startup. So basically, uh, we provide living in various options, and we manage the whole show for the customer. So you don't have to worry about your electricity bill, maintenance, security deposit. Everything is managed by us. And from a for let's say if someone is thinking from a US perspective, it's more like a leasing and subleasing. But from an Indian perspective, it's basically more of a service department slash somewhere between PG and service department. So this industry has been there from a very long time, but we are here to organize it and provide the best customer experience possible, right? And um, so 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 basically, we started in 2015. I have a failed startup in education industry before this. Spent 2 years into that, and since 2015, we have been uh, running the company. I've been leading the technology and product, and yeah, it has been a great journey so far. And things are, I would say, with COVID, things are little tough, but we see a bright future for the industry as the economy revives.
Awesome. Thanks, Akhil, and welcome once again.
Thank you.
I guess I'll take first. So, hi everyone. My name is ASHUTOSH. I am a co-founder of a company called Jodova Technologies. So, we are into the industrial IoT space. We do monitoring and analytics for industrial assets. We work with Excite Industries, Dubai Airport, ISRO, Indian Navy. So we founded in 2017, but we've been working on this for almost 4 years now. And I mean, mostly it's been around the journey started around getting central piece connected, all the machines connected to one place, and then after that we started on the analytics part. Now analytics forms as the core sector for us. I've been in the industry for almost 18 years, and I've been doing machine learning since 2009. So I was part of JP Morgan's credit assessment, which was done through machine learning. And happy to be here, happy to be in part of this session.
Super. Thanks, Ashutosh. Akhil, Rahul, and if you would like to go next.
I can go next. So, hello everyone. I am Rahul Prasad. I am co-founder and CTO of Bobble.ai. So, we are known for our flagship products. We have two flagship products: Bobble Keyboard and Mint Keyboard. Mint Keyboard is the product which is the default keyboard of Xiaomi phones. These are the two flagship products we are known for. So we are working on artificial intelligence around three fields. There are three ways you can give input to a device. One is through text, one is through voice, and another is through image. So we are using artificial intelligence to research on those areas, and we are coming up with new services. These services are being used within the keyboard to improve user experience, and also being provided to businesses as a B2B business, like content as a service, or transliteration as a service, speech to text as a service. So everything that we are researching on, we are also providing those things as a service to other industries to work on that and to increase their value. So that's it.
Amazing. Thank you, Rahul, and welcome once again. Over to you, Akhil.
Hi guys, so I'm Akhil Gupta. So me and Akhil Sikri shares the first name. So I'm co-founder of NoBroker.com, and it's a C2C real estate platform, one of its kind across the globe, where we have transformed the way real estate works by eliminating the brokers from the transaction. So started way back in 2014, started working on idea in 2013. It's been 6.5 years. It started as a residential platform for connecting owners as a tenant, and as we speak, we do residential, commercial, rentals, buy, sell, and all the services around real estate. If you need rental agreement, packers and movers, you want interiors, you want cleaning, painting, you want to pay rent using your credit cards. And the latest to the arsenal has been our flagship product called No Broker Hood, which is a apartment management app which takes care of visitor management, financial management, and all the amenities management. So idea is like that No Broker should be the single place for anything what you need for real estate, and all the ancillary services associated with also should be taken care by No Broker itself.
Super. Thank you so much, Akhil, and welcome once again. So today we are going to talk about like Industry 4.0, the fourth industrial revolution. We are talking about the digital transformation of manufacturing, production, and related industries, like those value creation processes, representing a new stage in the organization and the control of the industrial value chain. So this is to like all of you out here. How do you think like this Industry 4.0 really work, and what changes you are observing in the current times, like in the COVID times we're talking? Anyone would like to like take a step?
If I can put it in a very small sentence, I think everything is being smart. So that is how Industry 4.0 can be defined. Like in manufacturing world, the process of manufacturing is being smart. So being smart can be related to artificial intelligence, but being smart in general, services are being smart, product are being smart, service providers are being smart, things are being automated. This is how I would like to define Industry 4.0.
Yeah, so just to add to it, so basically all about when we talk about Industry 4.0, it's all about automation. How exactly we build solutions from the customers for the customers which are new, which are novice, which are helping solve the real customer problems. So if you see the way technology has grown, if you talk about like 5-10 years back, when even managing a server, you had to had either your own servers, you had to host your data, or you have to have a physical data center. But as we speak, once the technology has moved to cloud, DevOps or the cloud engineering part of it has reduced a lot. Like even if the way it has happened during COVID, where all the social networking apps started getting 3x, 4x traffic within a days or a week time. So they really didn't have to bother about that how exactly my infra will scale. With Kubernetes, with multiple auto scaling technologies available, everything happens on its own. So Industry 4.0 is all about how you make solutions, how do you leverage AI, how do you use machine learning to build smart solutions. Like to just quote an example, what we did at No Broker during this COVID time, once there was a time early in the March and April where there was very less demand for real estate, we made use of that particular time to build the products. And onto the No Broker Road app, where all the entries are managed by the security guards, and they had to come in close contact with the maids or the daily helps who are coming into the apartment. So we quickly innovated and we built a face entry recognition platform. So with that, they just take a photograph once, and for the daily entries, they really don't have to come into the close contact of the daily help. They just point their camera towards the face of the daily help, and it recognizes and automatically checks in that particular daily help. So with that, multiple things, all the false entries which used to happen from staff, where somebody is not even coming to the office, or you can say the apartment, and they are just putting the proxy, that is stopped. Social distancing is taken care of without even risking anything onto the guard side. So it's all about building smart solutions, how to leverage technology, not in particular AI. It can be as simple as automating something, and how do you automate the mundane task. That's all about Industry 4.0 according to me.
Yeah, I would like to add, as such, I think certainly like automation has a huge role to play, and And maybe like extending Rahul's point of smart, right? So a lot of it has to do with the predictive analytics. So today, based on data, you can figure out a lot of details. How would my cost look like if um, if my number of customers go down, or if something like this happen, based on so many other parameters? You can have a lot of predictive analytics. Uh, so based on your web search volume, you can kind of do a predictive analysis of that. Hey, this is how my demand would look like, right? This is how my costs will look like. So a lot of it has to do with how can you kind of analyze the data and also project a lot of analytics in future, that hey, this is how my predictions look like, and they are becoming more and more close, right? So if earlier, maybe I think if we take an example of earthquake or something like this, where earlier it was hard to detect, now we are able to figure out that hey, this is how it will look like, or at this point of time it will come up, right? And yeah, that's, I would say, like a lot of it has to do with predictive and analytics.
Awesome. So
Yeah, so I think just to add on to that, right? I mean, a lot of this has been around, what we discussed right now was about the digital transformation part of it, right? So if you look at Industry 4.0, from a asset point of view, that's right. From it's more of a digital transformation. But if you're looking at manufacturing or smart cities, right? So there's like a lot of other aspects that come into play as well, right? You have all kinds of machineries which are mechanized in some ways. You have control systems which are getting the data, but they're all local. So then the Industry 4.0 also has one part to play to bring them to a central place. So unless you have everything at a central location, it's hard to do anything about it. So then once you get the data at a central place, then you can do things like anomaly detection, prediction, digital twins and stuff. But the other side of it, which is getting more and more interesting these days, is compute on the edge, which is doing analytics on the edge. You don't really leave the system. So your intrusion detection systems, or if you're talking about finding the faults in real time. So the compute on the edge is what is right now driving Industry 4.0 to a larger extent in the manufacturing sector.
Yeah, no, totally agree with you, Ashutosh. And I think like AI on edge is something that interests me a lot. How you can use the potential of AI and bring it to the edge devices, to those low computation devices, while there have been times when we moved from traditional servers to the cloud computing and now coming back to the edge computations.
Yeah.
But having said that, like Ashutosh, you work at Ink Innovation also, like you're director at Ink Innovation. It's a Kochi and Sydney-based startup ecosystem, fostering young startups, early stage startups. So from your experience of working with these startups out there, how are startups using AI to work with big data or with like those huge volumes of data?
So we're certainly seeing a sudden shift, right? I mean, if you had asked me this question 3 years ago, I probably would have said that it's still relatively new, right? But now we see a lot of younger startups, especially at the college level, and then kids who have just graduated. They're coming with like very innovative solutions around AI, right? So I mean, I go around a lot to Odisha and Bangalore and Pune and all these places to meet students, and then you'll see simple solutions like how do you use like LoRaWAN to connect 10-kilometer radius networks, and then how do you make sure that you're not doing any data loss and stuff like that. So instead of using traditional methods, they're using AI to boost the signals and things like that. So we are seeing a lot of new technologies coming up, whether it's like drone related or object detection, and especially in the agri-tech section, a lot of people are using drones to look at the crops and then find out whether there's like particular insecticide that is required and or not, right? So we are seeing a lot of those changes happening in the last 2-3 years.
Amazing, thank you. Akhil, I believe like Zolo's inventory optimization and marketing spend for certain properties are like powered by machine learning. So from Zolo's perspective, like how does AI and ML play a vital role in providing a good experience to the customer? How do you think it really helps?
Um, so one of the major projects that we have been working on is social compatibility. So a lot of our customers stay in shared living where they stay like two people in one room, or rather it will be a flat, and then there will be like four guys in a 2 BHK or 3 BHK flat, right? There's a lot of so we are developing algorithms, we are developing kind of models to have the right compatibility. So there is a set of people who come as a pair together, right? So let's say there are 3 4 guys who are from the same college. They say that, hey, so they have the preference, uh, and they know that, hey, we want to stay together. But a majority of our demand is basically looking for a room, and they're expecting us, or uh, rather it's up to us to ensure that we have the best roommate for them, right? So that's one project which has been ongoing and has been very useful. If we get it right, the experience, the overall the customer complaints, everything kind of reduces a lot, right? And so that's one. Second is we are building a community which is, we're calling it Zo Tribes. So it's a like set of people who are connecting with each other based on common interests, based on common companies, right? So so that's other area which we are exploring, and so far it's in initial stages, but the initial feedback from customers is great.
That is quite interesting. I would love to try it out whenever you're launching it.
Sure, we are planning. So we have built it in a way that we should be able to launch it for any set of community, like whether it's a corporate setup, we can give it to a certain company. Well, a company has 5 branches or 5 branch offices or 15 branch offices, and every branch office comes as a small mini tribe and gets part of a big tribe. And we are also planning to launch it for apartments. So the way we have built it is so that it's not just specific to Zolo. It can be kind of set to any set of people. It could be colleges where there are multiple hostels, and every hostel is a tribe. And so yeah, it's a lot of action happening over there. Uh, and yeah, so that's quite interesting. We might be able to launch it just for a separate company. You don't have to be part of like Zolo itself.
Eagerly awaiting for it. Okay. Over to you, Rahul. Like you folks are making the phone smart again, like with Bobble AI. You've been doing really hard. You said like it's already like as an inbuilt product in Xiaomi phones. So what is the role of AI and ML to make products and services better? How to drive customer value by using AI? And very specifically, like in an industrial setting, I know like from a technological startup, from a tech startup, you would have a lot of insights. But can you also like tell something from your experience how AI helps in an industrial setting?
Okay. So, first of all, I would like to tell about how we are using AI to make our product better. So, we are an AI company. So, most of our things that we are making is based on AI. For example, the emoji which is being predicted. So, if you are writing, "Hello, how are you?" and the emoji that will be predicted for you will be through AI. And similarly, the word suggestion, word prediction, the content suggestion, and everything that is happening within the keyboard is based on AI. We are coming up with speech to text for all regional languages. That is also being done through artificial intelligence itself. So there are a lot of things that we are working on using AI. And when you say how are we using to make our product better, so I believe your question is related to that if my product is not based on AI, and then how can I use artificial intelligence to make the product better. So
Exactly.
on an industrial setup, I think Everyone wants to increase the revenue and decrease the cost. The optimization part, artificial intelligence can help with optimization. So the thing is, if you write your own code, there are so many cases you can cover, there are so many patterns that you will miss, and a single person or a set of person cannot write all those patterns, cannot come up with the best solution. But what you can do is you can use machine learning to run algorithms to optimize those small things, and all those small optimization will lead to a big optimization for an industrial setup. And now you decentralize it. So instead of just having a single system which is being optimized, you're trying to optimize each and every part of it. Imagine how much optimization it can bring. So this is how AI is being used. AI will be used for optimization in industrial setup.
So there's an interesting question, like very associated with this one from the live audience. So they say like, as AI is the future of industries, can it totally control the whole industry during such pandemic times also?
We
Like,
would want that. We
of
would
AI.
want that. Why should not? Tell me what's the problem with that? We should want that everything should be done by machine, and we should just sit back and relax and chill. So our our job should be applying our minds, and machine's job should be doing everything else. So we should be focused on what's next. What's next? Every time we should be thinking about what could be done better, and we should leave all those jobs which are manual, which does not require what we have the most, like our mind. So those things should be left to artificial intelligence to automate those things.
Amazing. Thank you, Rahul. Akhil, like nobroker.com is probably the only property listing portal that does not deploy or employ like field agents. Like we all know this, and I believe that the reason is very simple: technology. But could you tell more about like how NoBroker uses AI to deliver democratic and broker-free real estate experience?
Yeah, so basically, as you rightly said, we don't employ anybody on ground to help customers, and everything is taken care of technology. And what are the benefits? Benefit is like you can scale much faster, you can control the quality of the service what you are offering to the customers. And now to quote some example, how exactly we use it, like and because our name is no broker, we can never employ a broker to do stuff. So that forces us to use technology always. So now what we try to do using technology is we try to give the experience which an extremely good broker would have given had it existed in the system. So what would a broker would have done? It would have told you that basis your office location, if your wife is working, if your kids are going to the school, he or she will triangulate a location and tell you where exactly you should stay within your budget. So now, if you see at No Broker, we do this triangulation using the real-time traffic information from the Google, and we can say, okay, you travel. You can say that I start for office at 9:30, and I work in EcoSpace, and where should I live? So that time, platform can itself tell you, okay, you should be living towards the Marathalli side, or maybe you should be living towards the HSR side, but this is a time it will generally take you to reach to your office. And if your kids are studying onto the Sajapur side, it's better to live towards Sajapur road, because the triangulation way it will be better for you. So that's the thing which generally was happening using heuristics. If a person is well aware of the locality, that person would have given you that information. Data democratizes that particular thing and gives you unbiased opinion without considering the fact whether I have the property in that particular location or not. One is that. Second, when lakhs of people are posting their property every month, so we get around 2 lakh properties every month, new properties every month onto the portal, and every property will have approximately 15 to 20 pictures. So on daily basis, we are talking about thousands of pictures which are being uploaded. And when people upload the pictures for some reason, some silly reason, owner will want to put their selfie, or they will want to put a good morning message with a flower in it. That should not come onto the portal, correct? So for that, we built a platform which we call internally as Iris, which is like your eye, which identifies the object within the image. So we do the object identification within the image to know whether this image has a bed, that image has a dining table, or there is a wash basin, or there is a toilet seat, or there is a facade. Basis that we tag the images and we upload it automatically. At the same time, we check for all the nuisances which can be there and eliminate those particular things. So with that, when we started, we had a team of people who were sitting within our call center and who were constantly monitoring these pictures and uploading it on behalf of the customer. That has been automated. Benefit: the cost of doing this particular job, it's a mundane task. It has been automated. It's only the machine which does the work. So the cost has reduced, the time has reduced. Earlier, when a user used to post a property on NoBroker, it used to take anywhere between 12 hours to 18 hours for that property to show up onto the portal. Now it takes 5 to 7 minutes. Like to add to that particular thing, when someone post a property, as a seeker, I will want to know most of the things about that particular property, like where exactly is the property, how close, how many hospitals are close, how many schools are there, what is good about this property, how is the commutability, and all those things. So for that, we have built something called commute score, livability score, and even the description of the property, what you read on NoBroker, that will look like human has written that particular description. That is generated by a machine. That is called SIA, synthetic description generator, which makes use of the information which is available close to the property, like how many hospitals are there, schools are there, things which matter to you. So like if you are a young guy, you may want to have pubs, or you wanted to have pubs before pre-COVID, where you wanted to go maybe after your office. So you can look for properties which are closer to party area. So that happens. Similarly, as I mentioned, onto the NoBrokerhood side, where when the entries are happening, how do we bring in automations, face entry? Right now, as we speak, due to COVID, people are scared, correct? So the one thing which everybody does is that take the temperature and see if somebody is wearing the mask or not. But with lot of asymptomatic patients being increased, you really don't know, even if my temperature is 98.6 degree Fahrenheit, am I carrying any kind of virus with me or not? So for that, we have recently integrated with Arogya Setu app. With that, what happens is, because Arogya Setu is tracking everybody around you, with that they know how much is the risk what you are carrying. So we integrate with that particular app for anybody who is coming in and check, other than temperature and the mask, if there is a way by which you are carrying a risk because you had come in close contact with anybody who is either running at a high risk or who is already a COVID positive. So those are the things. So whole idea is, as I mentioned earlier, come up with the solutions which can be done at scale without putting people to work, rather than we believe in making machines and apps work for us.
Amazing. Thank you. Thanks, Akhil. And I believe like No Broker also raised some 30 million USD in the recent funding. You also like this came in like immediately after you folks acquired an ERP solution company, Society Connect. So what are your plans to like make the real estate transaction journey like seamless? Like
So
what are your future plans? What are you
yeah, so
looking for like next year?
sure. So as I mentioned, we want NoBroker to be Google of real estate. Anything what you need for real estate should happen on NoBroker. It started as a matchmaking platform. So now, because you have the trust on NoBroker, I have got your house without you paying any brokerage, or you might have paid just 1,000 to 2,000 rupees for our service. You have high trust on NoBroker, and with that trust, we have four pillars of services. One is the discovery platform, which is the core NoBroker platform. Another one is the NoBroker home services platform, which gives you rental agreement, packers and mover, cleaning, sanitization, everything, loan, legal assistance. Third is NoBroker payments, which helps you make your rent payment, maintenance payment, token deposit, anything what you need from credit card, and we reward you for that particular thing. And fourth one is our NoBrokerhood app, which goes into the apartment and makes the apartment living easier and secure using technology. So those are the four areas, four verticals where NoBroker works. And it's still early days. We are 6-year-old company, but still we are only in 7 cities. We have just scratched the whole market. So if you talk about Bangalore, we might be at 8 to 10% penetration. So we want to go deeper in existing cities and launch 25 to 30 cities in India, and after that take this solution global.
Awesome. Thanks, Akhil. So Ashutosh, like Jodova Technologies uses like it basically provides a device agnostic IoT platform. You churn a lot of data, like this data is coming from sensors. It's a crucial element in all this monitoring systems. So do you think like data collection is a crucial enabler in Industry 4.0, or is it just like using AI? Um, or what are your thoughts about it? How do you use AI to work with this type of data?
Yeah. So it's a mixture of both, right? So when we started the central monitoring, right? So we were just taking the data and then we were ingesting the data, right? A whole lot of pipeline was required to just get the data in, right? But then when you realize that this data can also have its nuances, and then a lot of times it's not there, or the alerts are wrong. So when the alerts are wrong, the whitelisting is done and then the false alerts are set. So stuff like that, so you have to take care of, right? So then that's where we use the edge devices to be a little more smarter, and then we put some anomaly detection algorithms which were there, right? So we have two-phase anomaly detection, and that's something that we devised ourselves. So regardless of the data, like one of the biggest challenges with industrial data is no data is similar, right? When you're in the oil and gas industry, it's different. Power industry, it's different. So no two data is similar, right? So how do you do anomaly detection? So we made a time series agnostic anomaly detection, and then we made a mini version of it so that we can put it on the edge, and then you are detecting it on the edge, right? And the beauty of that is that it's self-learning. So over a period of time, if it generates a false alarm, you tell it that this is the kind of alarms which are wrong, and then it learns from that and gets the data. So that part is still AI based, right? So it's more closer to AI than machine learning, where it's getting the data and then it's learning from that data, right? But at the same time, when we are ingesting the data, some domain expert has to sit on the central side and say that yes, this data makes sense, right? So, I mean, we need some thresholds to be set, right? So, for instance, a very simple example is if you look at something like a turbine data, right? So when the turbines are moving, they're moving at a very high velocity. So at what velocity you would say that the machine has heated up and then it needs to be stopped? You don't know that, right? And the machine cannot know that. So that's something that will come from the learning. But on the other hand, if you're looking at temperature data, right? Temperature stays constant through and through. So if it goes from 32 degrees to 33 degrees, yes, there is a spike over 10 days or 15 days, but that doesn't mean that that spike is a problem. That spike is the new normal, right? So how do you differentiate between the spike being real and the not? So some of it is done through AI on the edge, and then other part we make sure that some domain guy is sitting and then they're defining thresholds in the central system, so which eventually travels back to the main system.
Interesting. Thanks, Ashutosh. Akhil, this is a question from the live audience. Good Simmer asked, like, by using the AI in everything, then it means like the human talent and skills will not get a chance in the society. What are your thoughts about it?
This for me?
Okay, are you asking me? Okay, I'll take it up, not a problem. But so, can you kind of repeat?
Yeah.
What's exactly?
Good Simmer asked, like, we are using AI in everything. So, how do you think that human talent and skills will get a chance in the society? Don't you think like that will be missed when we are using AI in everything?
Yeah, I think it's more of a philosophical question that what will happen 10 or maybe 20 years from now. But as of today, AI is just replacing very mundane jobs, very basic jobs, like how you have a chat agent, very basic details of. So most of the companies which I see are using a hybrid model, how Ashutosh mentioned right away, that you have a domain expert and you have a basic check what could have been done, right? So yes, so the wisdom bar required for jobs is certainly increasing. You can't just say that, hey sir, I'm present today, and now tell me what to do, right? So that kind of jobs are not required or might get obsolete, right? So having a so uh, like we are using a hybrid model of chat agent as well. That, hey, your basic details are taken by chatbot, and then when you have a query which is very personalized or unique to you, that's where it goes to a chat agent, and he can make sense of it, right? So it's like in general, I would say it's obviously tough on the society, or that's more of a government's task or job to figure out what will be done as the employment reduces. But I do believe that it will only replace very mundane jobs, and it will push people to kind of raise the bar of intelligence and start doing next level things. Um, and I think, as we have seen in last 100 years, new job opportunities will certainly come up. The value of having human interaction things would increase, right? Having, like, in general, I do believe people now see value in having personalized gym sessions, personalized yoga sessions, right? So those values will increase. But yeah, in terms of
I think
all those
those
mundane
redundant
jobs of,
manual jobs.
yeah, accounting and all those things will be taken care by. I think even the very basic DevOps job has been taken over by GCP and AWS, and that's how it is. Like, and it will keep on improving. There is no one can stop it, and no one should stop it. The whole idea of industrial revolution was to give more time to people to relax, right?
Yes, very well, Akhil.
I would like to
In the
add to
interest
that.
of time,
So change.
sure.
Okay. So change is inevitable. Change will come. And the thing is, when last time, suppose look at the automotive industries. Most of the thing has been automated. Earlier, it used to be done by people. Would you wait for 1 year for your bike to arrive to you? Would you wait for 2 years for your car to arrive to you? Is this what you want? No, right? It's getting better. New jobs will be created. People will come up with new jobs. So it's not that people will relax and there will be no jobs. New jobs will be created, but it will only be created if the lower jobs is taken care of by something else. Otherwise, people will keep on doing the lower job, and there won't be any opportunity.
Yeah,
We have to think ahead. We have to
true.
come up with solutions.
Exactly. Very well. So Rahul, like apart from AI, like do you think companies should also focus around augmented reality, like to increase the revenue? This discussion came in from a live audience. This person, Siddhant Power, says that a lot of big IT giants are working on AI along with AR. Do you think there's a scope of this unique industry of AI and AR put together to increase revenue for a startup?
Uh, there is a problem in this question. I'll tell you what the problem is. So, you should never think in terms of technology. Technology doesn't come first. So, what happens is sometimes people come up with technology and then they start thinking of problem, what problem it's going to solve. You should never do that. First, come up with a problem. What is the problem and how it can be solved? Is AR the best solution? Is VR the best solution? Or it's needed or it's not needed? So always always think problem first and then come up with solution. Never go for a solution first. Never go for a technology first, or never think of a technology and then build a problem around that. So if you are trying to build a company out in this way, that you are coming up with technology and you are trying to build a company around that, you have to be very lucky to find a problem that will be related to your solution. But if you can find a problem which is large enough and you can come up with a very simple solution, you can build a very big company around that.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Rahul. And thanks, everyone. We are running short of time. I would love to interact with you all a bit longer. But yeah, we are running short of time. I really enjoyed this conversation with you all. and hopefully the live audience also would have enjoyed the conversation with you. Thank you once again. I will now hand over to Rohit. Thanks, Rohit.
Thank you, Sid. Thank you, Akhil. Thank you, Akhil Gupta, Rahul, Ashutosh, everyone. Thank you for taking your time out on a weekend, extended weekend, so to say. Thank you for your time. We look forward to interact with you more
Thank you.
often. Thank you. Thank you.
The
Bye.
pleasure is ours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.